Today we take a look at a character who comes from a realm of cold and darkness, whose heart may be colder and darker. Find out what's going on as I hereby invite everyone to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So with the Sanctum Showdown coming around this Tuesday, there will be 3 cards that you can get from it. And I wanted to do a spotlight on each one of the cards. This will be a 3-part series, and when I'm done making the other 2 parts, I will put their links into the description of each video. This is the first one of the 3, and this one is about Laufey. Laufey is the king and tyrannical leader of the Frost Giants, who rules with no mercy or compassion for others. He is a formidable, ruthless adversary and powerful antagonist. He comes from a realm of cold and darkness, where life is brutal. He sits on his throne of ice and plots ways to plunge all of the realms into a new ice age. He is the father to Loki, but as Loki was born small and weak, this was an unacceptable embarrassment for his parents, and his existence was kept away as a secret. Laufey, as the leader of the Frost Giants, sought to give his people a new, better homeworld, so he led his army to Earth, where they invaded a village, and he used the casket of the ancient winters as a weapon to slaughter the innocent lives there. When opened, the casket can unleash an infinite blizzard-like cold that will freeze and damage anything in the path. But humanity would not yield to this, and the armies drove the Frost Giants back into the heart of their own world. Laufey then had the casket of the ancient winters taken from him, and his people breached into Asgard in an attempt to have it taken back. This incident brought forth the wrath of Thor, who in turn led a counterattack against them. Laufey opposed them for a while, but eventually had to make a truce, until sometimes later, when Loki returned and approached him with a proposal. He held out the casket of the infinite ancient winters, offering it up to him only if he admitted that he was his father. Laufey had no choice but to begrudgingly accept this bargain. Laufey has no room for the weak, and therefore considers Loki his biggest mistake. He is a conniving individual who can get others to do his bidding easily, but is also always willing to lead attacks. He does not want to make peace. He longs for battle. He craves it, and even if he loses, he will make sure that the cost was great for the other side. He will always leave one person alive to see and hear what transpires around them, so that they may tell others of all the deaths that come by his hand. Laufey is a skilled expert technician and formidable hand-to-hand combatant. He possesses all the various superhuman abilities amongst his people, including superhuman strength, durability, speed, agility, stamina, reflexes, healing, and an extremely long-lived age. He will age at an increasingly slower pace. He is immune to the cold and in fact grows stronger in it. As well as he has the ability to create and manipulate ice. This ice can be formed into any thing that he can imagine with his mind, whether that be a simple item or a powerful weapon. Laufey is the leader of the Frost Giants. He is immune to the cold and grows stronger in it. And he has the casket of infinite winters that will freeze and damage anything in its path. This is represented in Marvel Snap as when he comes out, he'll open the casket, making it colder and damaging anything in his path. And then, because it is colder, he will go much stronger. So in Marvel Snap, with this card, it is a 4/5 with the description of on reveal. It will steal 1 power from each other card in the lane that you put it in. That is both friendly cards and enemy cards. So in Marvel Snap, of the 3 cards that are coming out in the Sanctum Showdown, I believe this is the most powerful card. And just in general, I would give this card a 4-star rating. Let me go over why I give him such a high rating. Let's look at the card that he comes the closest to, first of all. The card that he comes closest to would be Sage. Sage was thought of being as a weak card, is thought of not being a powerful card, but all in all, it pretty much does the same thing as Sage does. Except that it doesn't need to worry about what cards are on the location. If you view this as a Sage card, it is incredibly powerful. It only loses pretty much no power because Sage doesn't count itself. So when you play this down, you're basically playing a Sage that just does not care about what you have and what your opponent has for costs or power. If you cannot make this thing work for whatever reason, you're basically looking at a Jessica Jones that didn't trigger. Is that a bad card? Not really. Is that the card you were hoping for? Not really. One of the most interesting ways to play this card is to possibly play down an Invisible Woman, just to have that secret blast at the end where you make your opponent's side go down and your side basically doesn't take too much damage, because even though your side, even if it's completely full, loses 3, the Laufey will gain back that 3, so it's a net 0 for you. Another card to basically view this with is almost being like a Cassandra Nova, because it has the steal effect. It is literally taking the power off of your opponent. So, if your opponent has 1 card, it grabs 1, so if they are a 5, they become a 4, and you become a 6. So, kind of is almost the equivalent of 2 powers. Now, whenever we talk about steal cards, whenever we talk about flip cards, whenever we talk about negative cards, we have to talk about the Luke Cage. If Luke Cage is out, because this is a steal card, and not in a flip card, this is a steal card, and you play down the Laufey will do absolutely nothing. However, because of how Laufey is written, if Laufey is played, and then the Luke Cage comes out later, while the cards that Laufey took power off will go back to what they were, Laufey will still have that power spike. You do have to watch out for certain things. You have to watch out for basically anything that can grab power off of the Laufey. If you can steal the power back from the Laufey, you are making that a high spike on your end, a low spike on your opponent's end. But this is not an ongoing ability, this is just an on-reveal ability. So the only things that can really take this down is Shadow King and Red Guardian. and technically Cosmo, because Cosmo can stop it from happening. But once it's out on the field, the only things that can take it down are Red Guardian and Shadow King. There's also a possibility of using a debris-like effect. You actually put debris on your side, or you put Brood on your side, or you put a very small card on your side, you put a very small card on your opponent's side. Or even if you just do your side, and then you basically play the Annihilus and you push the stuff over. If you have a 0-cost card, it becomes negative, you push it over to the Annihilus, and you basically make the clog even more annoying. Because it isn't on reveal, you can use stuff like Wand. Any effects that are Wand or Wand-like effects will make this card more powerful. It does work both ways, but it's not that big of a deal because you're not really losing much. Also, interesting card that you may want to look into with playing this deck would be the Absorbing Man. You can basically do the Laufey, and then right after that you can do the Absorbing Man and hit 2 lanes with that powerful effect. And then if you have the Ajax, you can put Ajax in the 3rd lane. One of the other cards that you can look into when you're playing this is the Taskmaster. If you play this down on 4, or if you play this down on 5, if you can play the Taskmaster next turn somehow, it will grab all the power from the Laufey and be a big hit for a location. This is kind of like the same thing that Ajax is doing. Another interesting card that you might want to think about with this might be the Blue Marvel. Give your stuff the +1 power that it's going to be losing off the Laufey, and then you really don't care that you took that power. Interesting, funny little thing is this might be able to take down, might be able to hurt a Living Tribunal lane. Because usually the Living Tribunal lane plays Iron Man. If you play this against the Iron Man becomes a -1. If they're putting other things in that location that double the power, that gets -2. So all in all, of the 3 cards, I believe this is the best one to go for and will be a powerful card that most people might be sleeping on, as I don't think a lot of people realize it can be a sage that doesn't care. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.